Hi, I'm Shannon Cantner, and I'm joined by Marcia Zashin, the director of CMSD's Project ACT. Thanks so much for joining us here in the CMSD TV studio to get the conversation going about our homeless youth. It's an issue in Cleveland and in the district that I think a lot of people don't even realize exists.
You know, we have a very large population of homeless children here in the district. This year already we have served over 4,000 students, all the way from kindergarten up through grade 12. And it truly is an issue that is growing and expanding here in the Cleveland area.
So you talk about serving these students. What exactly is Project ACT? What does it offer? What kind of services does it offer our families?
Well, Project ACT is the Homeless Children and Youth Project of the Cleveland Schools. And we remove all barriers so that homeless children are able to be enrolled in school immediately. Homeless children are served under a federal act known as the McKinney-Vento Act. And therefore, a student may be enrolled as soon as they're identified as a homeless student, that we enroll them and they're in school the following day. Now, they may not have all of the documentation that other students may have upon enrollment, but then we work to get all of those documents so that we have all the information that we need on those students. We keep very, very lengthy documentation on our students, so if that student should leave the district, if another district calls for information on that student, we will have a birth certificate, we will have the immunization records, and we will have whatever is actually necessary for that child to be enrolled in another school immediately. So that's the very first thing we do. We remove all the barriers to enrollment. And then we have life skill coaches in many of our schools, and they work specifically with our homeless students, giving them the extra push, and they advocate for our students, and we just want all of our homeless students to be able to attend school and succeed in school, just like all children in the district.
And I think a lot of people might have a very specific idea in mind of what it means to be homeless, a picture or some idea of what this means and what it looks like, but it can probably come in a lot of different forms that many people might not think of.
Well, you know it does, because each student comes with a different story behind them, and there are so many stories that we hear, and we wonder, how is it possible that these children are even able to get up and go get to school in the morning? For example, we have had students where they don't have water in their house, where they're staying, and so what they would do would they would get bottles of water at the grocery store, and if someone used the toilet, they would pour water into the toilet so that it would flush. We have students staying in places where there may not be electricity. So there are so many different reasons why a student may not come to school the next day with their homework completed. There are lots of reasons. They may be staying in a household where there are a lot of people, 12, 15 people, and it's so noisy that it's impossible to do any homework. And besides, they may not have anyone who might encourage them, you know, to actually do their homework or help them with their homework. Mm-hmm. And that's why we have these life skill coaches, so that we can help our children with their homework and we can help them try to get up to grade level. I mean, we're very, very strong in the area of reading and math. We want our children to be able to pass that third grade reading achievement test, and we work very hard at that, and we've seen quite a bit of improvement this year. As a matter of fact, we have an 89% graduation rate this year as of May 20th. I mean, we were just so thrilled to see that so many of our seniors are graduating. I mean, it was just really thrilling when I asked how many of our students are graduating this year, and we found out that it was 89.5, I think, percent it was truly amazing.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's working, it sounds
Well,
like.
it's working. We've got life skill coaches that meet with our high school students, and they visit with them, and they stay on top of them, basically. They become friends to our students, and they're the advocates for them, and they, do you need help with this? How can we help you? How can we assist you? And we have many students that are going off to college this year, and so we're really excited about that.
Wow, I actually had the chance to speak with a family and interact with them who spoke so highly about their children's life coach at their school. And I got a better understanding of what this family has gone through. So let's take a look at how Project ACT has helped them get back on their feet.
I found out that I had lupus and fibromyalgia, so I actually had to stop working due to the illness, and I needed more help.
It always had her down, so it was like she needed me around more and everything like that, so I had to quit my job.
Faced with a difficult financial situation, the couple and their 4 children moved in with Marche's mother on the city's east side.
She opened her doors with open arms.
If it wasn't here, yeah, it probably would have been a shelter.
Fortunately, her mother's house is just a few blocks away from Memorial School. When Marche enrolled her 3 sons there, she learned about Project ACT.
We decided to make do the
Situation.
best way we could,
We let them. We said, you know what? They have to have a light on the outside of that tunnel, and this program was the light outside of that tunnel.
Project ACT offers students help in many ways, including school supplies and one-on-one time in school with a life coach.
When Mrs. K gets them out of their class and gives them that one-on-one time and go over and makes everything so fun for them as far as their work and what they're doing, that helps when they get home. It's hard enough for them when they do get home. They see dad working and they see mom, I'm usually sick or dad having to take care of mom, and I can't interact with them like I want with my husband, and it gives them a better hope inside of school to actually enjoy their schoolwork.
So much so that shortly after enrolling in Project ACT, their son Makai won a reading award presented to him during a free family night at Playhouse Square.
I got that from reading a lot of books. Some of the chapter books and some of regular books. I was feeling so excited.
That was the best thing ever. I mean, we actually got involved. They involved the crowd. Mrs. K was there. The whole family enjoyed it. And I'm like, this is a great program. Like, even from my kindergartner, James, all the way up to my oldest, Davion, everyone talks about Project ACT, how everyone talks about Mrs. K, and we're just so excited about this program.
Just by what they're learning and bringing home, I'm learning new things too, and it's helping me to be a better father. I try to teach my boys that they're everything, because I never had my father in my life. So by my father not being there, I told myself I never do that to my sons, because my sons, they need their father.
Their 3-year-old daughter is already excited about learning too, thanks to her big brothers. And everyone counts on the weekly food bags provided by Project ACT in partnership with the Cleveland Food Bank, helping the whole family cope with their difficult situation.
My daughter, she loves the fruit. The bags that they do give them, the children, they love those.
Which is awesome, which is a blessing. That is a plus for them to take time out to, give families, needy families, those things, because you never know. You don't want nobody to miss a meal, going through the weekend, because you never know what a person's situation may be.
Everyone goes through those situations, and I always get emotional because I never ever was in the situation. I started getting real sick, so I couldn't hold up a job. So that's why I said when I genuinely say we love the program, we really, really love the program.
Project ACT is really wonderful. It helps you a lot, and that it is wonderful, and it's a lot of nice people, and it's so amazing.
As you can see, homelessness comes in many different forms, as we discussed, and it doesn't always look like the movies or TV shows. And to help get that message across, Project ACT has an upcoming conference. So why don't you tell us more about that, Marcia?
Well, we have a conference coming up on Thursday. It's in partnership with CityMusic Cleveland, and we have a super conference that's taking place at the Masonic Auditorium from 8:30 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon. We have many people coming in from, we have national speakers that are coming in, and we hope to be able to help people understand what our homeless children are actually dealing with. And we want them to understand that there are different categories of homeless children. We have children that are staying in shelters. We have children that are staying with other families. We have children that are unaccompanied, that are staying with another family, but they don't have a legal guardian with them. And then we have some of our high school students who are unaccompanied students who are just going from place to place. And tonight they might be at your house, the next night they may be at my house. And they just keep couch surfing and sleeping wherever they can find a place to stay. It's really difficult for many of our families that are living doubled up because you're only staying with the family temporarily. And if they decide that they don't want you to stay there anymore, you're out again on the streets trying to find another place where you may be able to stay. Within the past 5 years, many of our homeless shelters here in Cleveland have closed. So therefore, we don't have as many shelter beds as we had maybe 5-10 years ago. So it's very rough for our families to find a place where they can stay.
Mm-hmm. And for a better understanding, can anyone attend the conference and learn more about all the issues we're discussing here?
We would love to have teachers, all kinds of school personnel, bus drivers, lunch aides, teachers, paraprofessionals, social workers, psychologists, anyone who deals with children within the schools or within the community, because we have a lot of community agencies that work with our children. And it would be really a good idea for them to join us at this conference. I think that they'll learn a whole lot about the kinds of kids that we're working with, and to become more sensitive to their needs and to their understanding. And also to know that a teacher could be the one person that makes that difference in that child's life and puts that child on the right course and will continue on. You hear so many times, you know, we might not have somebody who really cares about me. And I think many of our homeless children feel that, well, it doesn't matter. I don't have to, you know, if I don't do anything, it's okay. But we want the teachers to understand that we have to be sensitive to these children's needs, because I don't know how they can be blamed for homelessness. I mean, it just so happens that they are born into a family that is having a lot of difficult issues. Mm-hmm. And it's really tough for these kids, you know, to be in this difficult situation. Mm-hmm. When they have had nothing to do to get them in that situation.
Exactly. So if we could all learn a little bit more and try to relate and understand in any way possible, it seems like that's what we should do.
Well, I think that really is the point of the conference, to make sure that people understand where these children are coming from and the difficulties that they have to deal with. You know, so many of our children may be thinking all day long, where am I going to sleep tonight? Will we have food tonight? I wonder where my mother is now. I wonder what's happening, because they have a lot of movement. And so they may be at one house tonight and another house the next day. So they are thinking about, will I have a bed to sleep in tonight, or am I going to have to sleep on the floor again? Will there be supper? Maybe yes, maybe no. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons that we send home Friday food bags is because we want to make sure that our children have food during the weekend. And that's a wonderful partnership that we have with the Cleveland Food Bank, and we're so grateful for that. Our children go home on Fridays with a nice food bag, and they have food for the weekend, and then they can come back to school Monday morning, and they have breakfast in school and lunch in school. And all of our children here in the Cleveland schools have free lunch and free breakfast. So we're very fortunate in that way, that our children are fed while they are in school.
Well, it's not an easy topic to discuss, but it definitely deserves attention. So thank you so much for joining us here and being able to shed a little light on it and raising awareness with this conference. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate being here. And if anyone has any questions about a homeless situation that they may be in, they may call us at Project Act at 216-838-0210.
Perfect. Thank you. That's a good number to have. And of course, you can always visit clevelandmetroschools.org for more information.